Hey guys, welcome back to Cook Wild. This is episode 4, and today I'm going to be doing some sirloin elk steaks. Right now I have them out. I trimmed off all the remaining connective tissue that we don't want to eat, and I'm going to basically just put a lot of salt and pepper on there, and I'm doing this early. You can do this right before you cook it, but I find that if you give it a few hours in the refrigerator uncovered, it allows not only that the salt and the pepper to saturate the meat a little bit better, it also allows some of that moisture that's in the meat to evaporate, and it gives it a little bit of a drier sear, which makes it sear nicer. So we're going to start with that and then get it on the skillet later on tonight. There we go. You can see I like to go heavy with the salt and pepper. Just going to flip that over, do it to the other side. Just beautiful meat right there. All right, just took these out of the fridge. They've been sitting in there uncovered for a few hours to dry them out, and that'll also help them soak up some butter when I cook it. We're gonna now go outside, and hopefully, it's Colorado, it's been really cold. I'm gonna see if we can get some beets out of the garden. Do some roast beets. Beets will actually survive in freezing weather, but it's been cold, so we'll find out. Icy. All right, there's the beets. I can see them kind of covered in snow. Let's see how this goes. That looks like a pretty good one. No, it's kind of small. Let's see. There's better ones over here. That feels pretty good. Look at that. Nice. Get a couple more of those. All right, we got some beets. They feel firm, which I hope doesn't mean they're just frozen solid. I think they're going to be good. Go get these cut up, steamed, and then we'll roast them. All right, got the beets washed up. I'm going to chop the tails off of those and peel a little bit of it and get those cut into cubes. We'll steam those until they're almost like an al dente kind of tender. And I got the oven preheating to 400, then we'll roast them in there with some Italian seasoning. And meanwhile, get that steak going and maybe a Caesar salad too. So those are peeled. I only peel the parts that I don't want to have. Like you see, there's like this rough texture, and then sometimes there's these little hairs. I just peel the stuff that would make an unwanted texture. The rest of it I like. A little bit of skin gives you a little variety. It tastes good. Just beautiful. And let those put the lid on and let those steam for probably about 10-15 minutes, and we'll get them in the oven. Okay, right now I'm warming up some butter. I'm gonna melt that, let all the moisture evaporate out of it, so it's just liquid oil. And I'm gonna add freshly pressed garlic. I didn't have fresh rosemary, so I'm using some dry, and I'm just gonna go ahead and lightly toast that garlic in there to infuse that butter with rosemary and garlic. And then I'll use that butter to cook the steaks in and pour some on top, and I'll also flavor it at the very end when it goes in the dish. Oven's preheated and it's been about 10 minutes. So, yep, that's al dente. These are perfect. I'm gonna take those off, toss them in olive oil and some Italian seasoning, and then throw those in the roasting pan, get them in the oven. Okay, those are tossed in Italian seasoning, salt, pepper, and olive oil. And we'll lay them out here, make sure none of them are touching. It'll kind of give it a little better browning. We're gonna roast that. I think I'm gonna turn the oven up to probably about 425. Since they're already cooked, we just need to get them brown. Getting that pan nice and heated up. I'm gonna let it get really hot, then turn it down and put the lid on, and that's gonna kind of heat up the whole. We want all the sides and everything to be heated up, because first I'm gonna get it seared, but then I want to put that lid on and use the Dutch oven to cook it all the way. It'll help cook it faster to the center without being too much on the sear. Smells delicious. Just waiting for that garlic to turn a little more brown, and then we're gonna move some of that butter over to that pan and get those steaks on. The heat in here feels appropriate, and our garlic is brown, so I'm gonna go ahead. I don't want to get the solids in there because then those will burn. Just pouring all that butter in there. I'm going to throw this back in here, and I will throw more butter in there so we can pour that on top with butter when it's done. Okay, we're right at smoke point. I'm going to drop these bad boys in. And I keep the heat high because they're going to soak up a lot of the heat, but then I'll drop it down in just a little bit. Okay, the sides are starting to turn a little brown, so I'm going to go ahead and flip these. Oh, look at that beautiful clear. That's what we want. We want a nice crust on there. And I'm going to make sure that it's not sticking to the bottom of the pan, that the butter's getting underneath it. Do the same thing to that side, and then we're going to drop that heat. We're going to just cook it on low heat after this until we're at about a 120 internal temp. Yeah, I just put the lid on. You can see we got it going on in there. And that, I just love Dutch ovens. You can pretty much have an oven and a skillet in the same spot on your stove. So if you're doing really high heat. You're not trying to make the meat cook much more than a sear. These things work perfect. Just flipped it. Look at the crust you got on there. I got my internal temp at 106. That's going to keep rising. So I'm just going to let that one rest. This side just about 120, so I didn't want to overdo that side in order to get that better. Still got a little ways to go on this one. And I like to check the temperature throughout the meat because there's different thicknesses. You don't want to overcook one section and then have one section underdone. See, that one's already done right there, but there's not much we can do about it. 115, 113, 112. We're getting really close. I'm about to pull that one off. Got both the steaks where I want them, and now I have homemade Caesar dressing on romaine. It's been chilling in the fridge. Gonna get that tossed up, and you believe the beets are done. So right, time to see how this looks. Just about perfect. Gonna go ahead and slice that up and serve it. We'll throw butter on top. That's just how I like it. Nice medium rare.
That's good.
Awesome. Try it with the butter. Give it a dip in the butter. Garlic butter sauce.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
Is that a winner? Great. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that one. I'm gonna let you go because I want to eat. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe, like, and share us. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Take care.